What investigators think led to a crash that killed one person and shut down a major Lexington road for the entire afternoon.
I'm just overwhelmed by the support of our community.
A Jackson County teenager returns home with his family months after he nearly died in a terrible accident. How the community gave him a warm welcome.
An Urban County Council member unveiling a proposal he says will help make Lexington City parks safer.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A major Lexington road closed for hours today because of a deadly crash. And tonight we are learning more about what police think happened.
Police say a truck lost control, hit a tractor, and crashed into a fence on Old Richmond Road near Evans Mill Road around noon today. That road just reopened within the last hour. WKYT's Victor Puente has the latest from investigators. It's our top story at 6.
Both of those vehicles have been loaded onto wreckers and hauled away. This road reopened about 45 minutes ago. The crash happened a little before noon on Old Richmond Road near Evans Mill. Police say a man driving a tractor was heading away from Lexington with a truck driving behind him with their caution lights on. They believe a man driving in this pickup came upon the tractor and tried to go around him.
Early on, it looks like maybe the truck was attempting to pass and then came back into the lane, coming in contact with the tractor, and then lost control from that, and then veered off the roadway, and there is a fence up there that he came in contact with.
Police say that crash sent the truck rolling, killing the passenger and sending the driver to the hospital. The driver of the tractor was also taken to the hospital to be checked out. They say he's expected to be okay. The road was closed for more than 5 hours while accident reconstruction took place. Police say it's possible speed was also a factor.
There's a lot of debris on the road from the collision itself that we're still working through. Quite a debris field, which means that the collision probably carried on for a little ways after it started.
In addition to speed, police say this area is also a no passing zone, and that may have played a part. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The name of the man killed in the crash has not yet been released.
At first, his family didn't know if he would make it. Months ago, a 16-year-old Jackson County boy was badly injured in an ATV accident, but he pulled through, and today he returned home for the first time since then. As WKYT's Caitlin Sentner tells us, new at 6, the community welcomed him with a celebration.
I know that he's a miracle.
For an Eastern Kentucky family, life changed in an instant earlier this year. 16-year-old Isaac Ely was doing what 16-year-olds do, just enjoying life. He was riding a friend's ATV when
I got a phone call that Isaac had been in an accident and that it was really severe.
Family says they didn't think the teen would survive the crash. Without a helmet, his head had hit a tree. He was airlifted to UK Hospital.
The scan said that Isaac would be in a vegetative state.
Even during the surgery, the neurosurgeon came out and he gave us a very grim prognosis.
After merely surviving, family says he wasn't expected to recover.
The day that we took him there, we were holding his head up, pushing him through the hallways. He was just completely lifeless.
They did what they say was the only thing they could do. They created a Facebook page called Pray for Isaac, and quickly more than 6,000 prayer warriors joined. As the likes and the prayers picked up, so did the teen's recovery.
He's starting to walk with assistance, speaking a few words, working on his swallowing.
Good job.
Did you write Mom?
Oh, look at that.
But so far, today's been one the family won't forget. The teen earned a huge welcome home from his entire town of Annville.
We've been gone for more than 3 months and there's just no place like home. And I feel like that Isaac will make continued progress. It's just a miracle.
In Annville, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
A lot of love and prayers right there in that community, and just this week they helped build a ramp to the Ely home for Isaac's homecoming. Tonight, friends and family are paying their respects to a Louisville police officer. Investigators say he was hit and killed by a car in Lexington. The visitation for Detective Jason Schweitzer is being held in Louisville. Investigators say he was in Lexington for an FOP convention over the weekend. Then early Saturday morning, he was asking UK employee Timothy Moore for directions on South Upper Street when police say a car driven by Suzanne Whitlow hit both men, killing them. She has been charged with manslaughter and DUI. Detective Schweitzer leaves behind a wife, a young daughter, and friends say his wife is pregnant with the couple's second child, a son.
A couple days before this happened, she sent me a message and showing me pictures of the baby's room, and he had hung up, you know, everything in the baby's room, preparing for baby Jackson, and it's amazing that the baby's room has strong and brave signs like that throughout the room, and it's just a sign. I mean, Jason's always going to be there.
Detective Schweitzer's funeral will be tomorrow afternoon at 1 at St. Michael Catholic Church in Louisville. And funeral arrangements have now been set for Timothy Moore from UK. His visitation will be at 11 Thursday morning at Meyer Funeral Home on Bridgetown Road in Cincinnati. The funeral will follow at 1.
When will a man accused in a Boyle County triple murder stand trial? Prosecutors say they're ready for it, but Kenneth Keith's attorneys say not so fast. Police say Keith killed 3 people at a Danville store in September of 2013. WKYT's Phil Pendleton tells us what happened during a hearing in the case today.
Defense attorneys want to suppress some of the evidence gathered by police during the investigation into the murders of husband and wife Michael and Angela Hawkinsmith and gold broker Daniel Smith. The 3 were gunned down inside the ABC Gold Games and more in September of 2013.
Which deal with 4 different searches in different areas, both I think in Pulaski County and here locally.
That hearing was scheduled for December 15th.
So on that date, we will bring our law enforcement personnel in to provide the background for the searches because significant evidence was found during the searches.
It's another delay in setting a trial date. Victims' relatives were in the courtroom during the hearing, as they have been during just about every other hearing involving Keith. Today's hearing lasted only a couple of minutes.
We want closure for the families. You know, they live this every day and will always live this every day.
The prosecutor says that all of their work is pretty much finished. They are ready for trial, and he says that he hopes that could still begin sometime next spring. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Earlier this year, Keith's attorneys asked for the trial to be moved out of Boyle County, but the judge refused that request. If convicted, Keith could face the death penalty. We have some new information tonight about the investigation into a Laurel County shooting. The case against the suspect, 48-year-old Michael Johnson, has been sent to a grand jury. He's charged with attempted murder and wanton endangerment. Last week, police say Johnson shot his 29-year-old girlfriend 5 times at a home on Chadwell Road. She was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. Police say during a 911 call, Johnson told dispatchers the shooting was an accident.
Some frightening moments at a Danville store this afternoon when a truck crashed into the building. It happened at the Verizon store on Houstonville Road. Police say the driver of a Dodge Ram accidentally hit the gas pedal instead of the brake, causing the truck to crash right through the front window of the store. Verizon employees say there were only a few people inside at the time.
I don't even think I saw it come in, but I heard it. I just got a glance at the truck coming in, and I just sprinted towards the backs.
Now, police say that no one was injured in the crash. The Verizon store closed for the rest of the day, but the manager said that they hope to make some repairs today so they can reopen tomorrow.
This is November 1st, but you certainly wouldn't know it when you step outside. It feels more like summer instead of the middle of fall today. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast. Chris?
Hi, Amber. Absolutely gorgeous weather out there today, setting record highs, tying record highs, depending on exactly where you are across central and eastern Kentucky. And it's fitting that a gorgeous weather day goes out with this. How about this gorgeous sunset that is showing up? Those are ice crystal clouds that are streaming on in, so you get this beautiful end to the day across central and eastern Kentucky. Upper 70s to right around 80 now into most of central and eastern Kentucky, and it's going to be a slow drop through the 70s into the upper 60s by the time we get into the latter part of the evening. Folks, that's above where we should be for a normal high for this time of year. And you're going to see some more of those clouds thickening up from northwest to southeast. Defender radar network will be dry again tomorrow with warm high pressure dominating the weather. Getting ready, though, to give it up to a cold front that is out across the plain states. Just like its predecessors, this front does not have a ton of cold air behind it, does not have a whole lot of moisture to work with. It's going to knock us down to where we should be for this time of year as that front arrives into central and eastern Kentucky as we go into Thursday. When I get back in a few minutes, guys, we will time the arrival of that front with a brand new hour-by-hour forecast and show you that the seasonal air may feel awfully darn chilly considering where we're going to be tomorrow.
Chris, thank you. An Urban County Council member says he has come up with a way to improve security at Lexington City parks.
He says that adding cameras would help reduce crime. And this afternoon, he discussed his proposal during a meeting at City Hall. Our Hillary Thornton has the story.
Days like today, even if it is November, outside is the place many people want to be.
Just hang out, he likes it.
Park's a popular spot for families. They are also the target of an idea pitched by Councilmember Fred Brown.
We've had criminal activity in the parks.
Councilmember Brown's plan placing cameras in parks, hoping to reduce some of that crime.
Berry Hill Park here off of Buckhorn Drive would be the location for the trial run of this new program.
I think it's a good gesture and a good thought. I think that anything that you can do to make any steps to make things safer is a good thought process.
I know it'll be a deterrent, but how much, that's hard to measure.
The camera's not monitored, but instead recording and storing video in case there is some type of incident.
Any kind of tool like this that we can give the police and the parks area, I think we need to do it.
The General Government and Social Services Committee taking in a presentation on the program this afternoon, voting to send it to the full council for consideration. Brown says the pilot program putting cameras in this park would cost the city about $30,000.
We'll be able to use that equipment no matter what. We'll be able to use it in other places if this doesn't follow through.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Brown also says that some city parks and recreation facilities do have cameras, mostly in areas where there's a building, like at McConnell Springs and city-owned golf courses.
Dozens of community leaders in Lexington will be spending the next 24 hours living on the streets. The important message behind it next on WKYT News at 6.
And then you probably noticed that gas prices have been falling in Lexington recently, but could that be changing in the coming days?
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Dozens of Lexington business, church, and government leaders will be spending the next day out on the streets.
Around 40 of them are taking part in what's being called the 24-hour homeless experience, which started at 5 this afternoon. Through 5 tomorrow afternoon, they'll stay on the streets of Lexington with only a blanket, 2 sandwiches, and 2 bottles of water. Those taking part say they have an important message.
It's to bring awareness to the plight of those who are in this position, and we hope, maybe beyond awareness, to raise a few dollars from people who make donations.
Fayette County Schools is partnering with this event as part of the Give Kids a Home program. If you would like to make a donation, we have information on our website. Just go to WKYT.com.
Gas prices here in Lexington have been dropping the last week or so. At some stations along Winchester Road, a gallon of unleaded selling for just under $2 today. But it's not clear if a gas pipeline explosion in Alabama yesterday will have an effect on those gas prices back here in Kentucky. Colonial Pipeline shut down its pipeline and after the explosion and said it will likely be closed the rest of the week. And AAA expects gas prices in the South to rise during the next week.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
It is a heck of a weather pattern that rolls on across much of the eastern part of the country. We've basically been stuck in this pattern since the second half of summer, and it has carried us right on deep into fall, first day of November, breaking and tying a few records across central and eastern Kentucky. Here's the current setup with that big area of high pressure off the east coast. And notice how it is a whole lot cooler under that high, Charlotte 68, than it is into Kentucky and points to the west. That's because you're getting in on that southerly wind flow, and then the changes that will take us back to where we should be, or maybe just finally get us to where we should be, are off to our northwest. That'll arrive second half of our Thursday. Late afternoon, early evening, temperatures now upper 70s to right around 80 into much of central and eastern Kentucky. Dealing with some high clouds that continue to funnel in from the northwest, and that's coming right around that ridge of high pressure. Cold front off to the west of us will get in here as we go into Thursday. That means you get one more day of this really nice stuff. That is your Wednesday forecast. Middle of the week, a lot like the beginning of the week. Temperatures making a run toward 80, some sunshine, some high clouds, gusty winds. Enjoy it. This is a heck of a run again. 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, near record highs. 82 is the record tomorrow in Lexington. Also goes back to 1987. Gusty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder on Thursday. This is not a lot of rain. It's not going to rain all day Thursday. Some of us may not pick up very much at all. Temperatures will drop into the afternoon, setting us up for a seasonal brand of chill into the day on Friday. Broken band of rain right along and behind this front. The big news will be the temperature drop as we go into late Thursday afternoon, setting up setting up shop around here, saying that one 3 times, into the start of the weekend. And the temperature map and the gusty winds showing that out quite well. The core of the chill continues to be locked up across the Canadian border and points north. Signs, though, it's going to break down in a few weeks. But until then, we got to get it closer to normal before we can even think of anything that is remotely on the really cold side. And normal is coming up later this week. Hour-by-hour forecast in the short term with some clouds around tonight. Early tomorrow morning, 55 to 60. Sunshine tomorrow, you hit the low 80s. A little bit of cloud cover, you'll stay in the upper 70s. Winds will be gusty. Thursday forecast, broken band of some showers and a rumble of thunder will zip through here. Temperatures for the trip into work and school on Thursday morning, warmer than the temperatures when you come back home. And as we go into Thursday night, could see a few spots into the upper 30s to low 40s. And there you go with mid to upper 50s for most of the area on Friday. Eastern Kentucky will be a little chillier than that. Going out and about Friday evening, some early Christmas shopping. Temperatures will be into the 40s, and then we'll drop it toward the upper 30s. Could be a kiss of frost into Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, low 60s coming your way. Saturday night on the town, Commonwealth Stadium, 40s. That will begin to show up as we get deeper into the evening. And overall, that's a forecast that should play out more often than not into the first half of November compared to what we have today and again tomorrow. Guys, weekend looks absolutely gorgeous with an hour of extra sleep.
We love it.
Yeah, we do.
Bring it on.
Were you thinking about doing our Christmas shopping for us? Is that what you were thinking about?
How'd you know? How'd you know?
Go right ahead.
Just ahead, media day for EKU basketball.
And the Colonels trying to replace their top 2 scorers. What is the outlook in Richmond? That Mark Stoops, as you know, has an intensity on the sidelines. Now that his team is winning, could that tone change? That's next in sports. Stay with us. Mark Stoops has always been intense on the sidelines, and now that the Cats are winning, nothing's going to change. Stoops doesn't only get after his players, he gets after the refs a lot, but he says his style has always worked for him. That's who he is.
I'm going to be me. You know, I don't feel the need to be one way or the other than myself, and if I feel like they need to be challenged, then I challenge them. If I don't, then I won't. You know, I feel like that's never been an issue with me. I mean, I'm going to go with my gut and with my instincts on the coaching. It's always had good results, and you know, so I'm going to continue to do that.
And the Georgia Bulldogs coming in Saturday night. Kickoff is at 7:30 on the SEC Network. The Wildcats' second exhibition game comes up Sunday night in Rupp Arena against Asbury. It was obvious against Clarion in the exhibition opener. John Calipari has a lot of options with lineups. He didn't start out playing Isaiah Briscoe, Malik Monk, and De'Aaron Fox together. Said it would mess up his front line rotation. The question is, what will he do with the lineup and rotations going forward?
I don't really know. I mean, I think it's going to go either game by game, week by week. Kind of see who's playing well, who's playing with the most energy, who's being the most efficient on defensive end, stuff like that. So it could change.
EKU has been getting ready for the upcoming season. The Colonels are young and graduated their top 2 scorers from a year ago. But as Lee K. Howard tells us, the Colonels are hoping to exceed preseason expectations.
Dan McKell enters his second season here at EKU, and there are plenty of new faces on the roster. That's part of the reason why the Colonels are picked to finish 10th in the OVC preseason poll. But McKell says he isn't concerned.
Somebody asked me a question, you surprised you picked 10th? I said, yeah, I thought we'd pick 12th. I mean, I got 5 freshmen on the roster of 10 eligible players. So my goal with this schedule, to be honest with you, is 2 seasons. You know, my freshmen need to become sophomores come OVC play.
Every day we take it as motivation. I constantly tell my guys every single day that
we got to use that as motivation as we play. Like, we got to come in, like you said, with a chip on our shoulder and play hard every single day to make sure that let people know that they made a mistake.
The Colonels tip off their season on Sunday with an exhibition game against Georgetown College, and then the season opener on November the 11th against IUPUI. In Richmond, Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
And the EKU women's team coming off a trip to the OVC championship game, but weren't able to win the title. They say that loss has motivated them during the offseason.
Yeah, last year it was a big disappointment. We got all the way there. Now, we lost by a big number. Our legs were tired. We weren't as in shape as we are this year.
We're hungry, you know. Coach, we were right there. You know, we had our opportunity. We talk about it all the time. You know, you play a sport, in my eyes, to chase rings and have the opportunity to go to postseason.
The first college football playoff rankings coming out tonight, 7 o'clock. Sam Amber, back to you.
A final check of your first alert forecast with Chris is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, the economy is always a big issue in an election year. Small business owners are speaking out about what they're looking for from the presidential candidates. We have been on an 80 bandwagon. We like it.
It's been a heck of a run, folks. Been a heck of a run. You get one more day out of it into the day tomorrow. Near 80 again, closing in on a record high. A couple of showers and thunderstorms around, and maybe, just maybe, we're normal for a couple of days.
Coming up on CW, we'll talk with a member of the council here in Lexington about cameras in parks and why he thinks it needs to be done.
Have a great night.